Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. When you're tuned in, you're with Lady Business and Give It to the People Radio, where you're going to get enlightened, enhanced, empowered, and enriched. Make sure that you always tune in to Give It to the People Radio. Hi. Hello, beautiful people. Hello. I hope you're having a great evening. I want to welcome you in tonight. We are going to be talking about how to be seen in 2021. And I have one of the best guests ever, somebody that I love dearly that's like super awesome. And she is going to be joining us. I see her up there, so I'm just waiting for the request to add in. And whenever you guys jump on, I just want you to know that you can ask questions. So feel free to go ahead and ask any questions that you have. She is going to be joining us. I see her up there, so I'm just waiting for the request to add in. And whenever you guys jump on, I just want you to know that you can ask questions. So okay, so go ahead and ask any questions. How are you guys doing today? First and foremost, Chandra, we may have to cancel this whole thing over here on Clubhouse because we're getting super feedback from both of us because I can hear a delay. But I want to say hi to everybody else that's here. We're going to close this room out. We were trying to do double duty and record on Clubhouse and to record on Instagram at the same time, but it's sounding horrible. So we're going to go ahead and leave Clubhouse, and then we're just going to stay over here on Instagram where we originally intended to. Okay. Listen, this is what happens when you try to multitask, right? So, Chandra, where are you, honey? I see you, girl, but I need you to go ahead and do the request so I can add you up here. So everybody, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out tonight because Give It to the People Live is one of my, I guess if you want to say passion projects. I started Give It to the People Live last year. Oh, actually, that's not true. I started Giving to the People Live in 2019. And we used to record everything live in the studio at PodBiz Studios. But now we've had to relocate PodBiz Studios here to the house. And it's nothing wrong with that because, you know, you have to pivot. You have to do all of the things that make your business still stay successful. So for us, what we decided to do was to keep on going, but we decided to just go ahead and see which platform we thought was going to be the most successful for us. So for me tonight, the platform that I'm using is Instagram. And so I hope that you guys are going to enjoy what we have out here this evening. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Chisa Penix Brown, and my company is Lady Business. So I do marketing and branding to help people show up and show out online. North Carolina's #1 small business facilitator, author of The 90-Day Focus, Your Action Plan for Success. I'm also a podcaster. I have a podcast that's called Real Ass Affirmations. And if you have not signed up for it yet, please sign up for Real Ass Affirmations because you're missing out. And Real Ass Affirmations is the shit you need to say to get you through your day. All right. So it's basically like your self-help, your own, what I like to call be your own life coach. So that's what we have for you. And when I'm looking at, you know, what we need to do for me, what is my gift to kind of give to the people? I like to make sure that we can highlight women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, minority businesses, people that are doing great things out there in the community. And so when I look at that, I really want to say, okay, well, what is it to let people see some other great people that I like, people that I think are reputable in business, people that that you need to know, okay? And so for me, Chandra Gore is definitely one of them. And we met, we actually met in person for the first time last year in 2020. And that was in March of 2020. So actually it's been about a whole entire year from that time, right? And in that time frame, it's saying she's unable to join for some reason. I don't know why. I keep doing the invite. Listen, I'm trying to tell you the way God works. I have literally been having technical difficulties all year long. I have no idea why that's the case. I just really can't tell you why. So Chandra, try to go out and come back in. Let's see what's going to happen with that. Let's see. Try to go out, come back in, see what's happening because it's telling me I can't do anything over here, which doesn't make any sense because we've done this before. So I don't know why it's doing it tonight. But
The thing about it is that whenever you see somebody. So this is why for me, when I said, okay, well, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about being seen. So when I say, whenever you see somebody and they are in alignment with what you're doing and you feel their presence and you feel their energy, it's one of those things where you're like, I think me and that person could be friends, right? And so as Wendy Williams likes to say, a friend in your head. And that's how it started. So she had already been following. She had gotten my book. And then, we worked out some stuff and she ended up being the publicist. And, for me, it was just like, when you know that you have a person that has a skill set, let that person do that skill set. When you know that you have somebody that's genuine, that's following you, that is a part of, just your energy, right? Then you work with those people. So for me, it was just like, let us see what we can do to work together, and let us also see what we can do to not only just help ourselves out in our individual businesses, but also other people. So that's what we started doing, right? We started just saying, okay, well, what else can we do? And so we said, well, tonight, let's go ahead and give it to the people, right? So hopefully she'll be able to join. I have no idea why this is happening. And if you are just joining us, thank you so much for jumping on. We appreciate it tremendously. And so for you guys, I think that if you are in business, and I think that most of the people that follow me are in business, right? We always need to be seen, whether or not we want to be seen. So when we're talking about the whole thing of us being seen, we need to take into consideration that there are certain things that need to happen. Now, for some reason, she's still not able to join because I'm still saying go live and I'm not able to bring it up. I don't know what it is. Let's try something else. Let's try it this way and see if this. Oh, okay. I see what's happening now. It says you need to upgrade to the latest thing of Instagram. And it could be that I just went ahead this morning at like 6:00 in the morning and upgraded my Instagram. So it's saying, even though I see your name there, that you have to upgrade to the latest issue of Instagram, and then it will let us go live. Well, look at there. Come on, technology. So I guess go out and come back in. Don't worry about it. I'm going to keep talking. People know I can talk with no problem. So what I'm going to do is just kind of give you a little bit of it. So when you talk about being seen, I think for me, I look at the look, I look at the image, but I also look at the energy that people are putting out. So if you have any questions at this time, what I'd love for you to do, because we got to wait for her to do her thing and jump back in, I would love for you to go ahead and just ask any question that you have. They could be about business in general. It could be a comment on something that you've done to be seen. If you have any hookups somewhere else and I can be seen some more, then go ahead and type that into the chat, honey. Hit me with a DM because I love to be seen. That's one thing. But I like to look at the fact that everybody doesn't want to be on camera, right? Everybody just doesn't necessarily want to be on camera. Some people are really comfortable in their introversion, being in the background and just letting their work speak for themselves. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that. But I do think that in this particular society, in this time that we're in right now, we have to look at the fact that people want to see you. They just do. So when people tell me I want to start businesses and I don't want anybody to see me, I'm kind of like, that's how they like you. That's how they trust you. That's how they want to spend money with you, is because they see you. And there are some people that I have seen and I'm just like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not getting ready to spend money with them. Right. So, hold up. There we go. I think we can do it now. Hold up. Boom, got the request, got the invite. There we go. Come on, Jesus. Jesus, be a connection. Be a connection, Jesus. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. They won't tell you that you got to update even though I have it automatically updated, at the most impromptu times, they'll be like, oh, you don't have the latest. But I just updated it this morning. Okay, well.
And that's crazy because I updated mine this morning too, because my phone told me to update. Now, I did have a person on here that they said that they created their own platform so that this way they could be seen. So that's one thing. So I was telling people while you were in and out trying to get everything together that there are people who don't want to be seen, But in my opinion, you know, people want to see you in your business. They want to see you doing good, and it helps them to be able to support you when they do see you. So first
Right.
off, what are your thoughts about that? And then we will jump in. So we had somebody say, give it to the people, I need some help. All right. So what are your thoughts about creating your own platform?
I think that is a great way, but if you create your platform and you don't tell people about the platform, who gonna see you on a new platform? I'm just,
Yeah.
make it make sense. You got to be able to promote that new platform that you created. So no matter what, your story has to be told. The people still have to see you. They still have to understand what you want to do. So
Yes. Okay.
that's
That's
bottom line.
great. So give me a little bit of background about you in case the people don't know. How did you even
Oh,
start? I don't think I ever even asked you how you started to be a publicist in the first place.
okay, so I am a business consultant, a business foundation consultant. And in doing what I do, I've noted I had the opportunity to add public relations to what I do because, an actual title to it, because I had a client who needed to get more views to get on news and to get the word out about a play. So then it was, okay, let me get my persuasive writing skills, and didn't know it at the time, but I knew it was a pitch. Let me sell this to somebody. So I stumbled upon becoming a publicist. It wasn't something that I set out to do. I just wanted my client to get the reach that they were looking for. And so that's where it was, because even when I'm doing the foundation for a business, I always tell them to document the milestones, document the newsworthy stuff that you want to celebrate in your business. And in actuality, that was a public relations strategy there. So just incorporating, I took some classes, I read up a little bit. I went back to that chapter that I skimmed over in my marketing class, both of them. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me go ahead and brush up on honing that skill that I do have. And so it just blossomed into, an add-on to my business. Because I always tell people I'm a consultant first and publicist second, because, I don't, before I take on someone as a publicist and for their public relations, I look at what their business foundation is. Because if a business is not ready to be in the public eye, then we have to go down the platform to get you ready, because the influx of eyes that are going to be on you once I secure media for your business, and you can't sustain it, and you can't fulfill the wants and the needs of those clients and those customers, then there's crisis management that comes into play. So being able to make sure that they're ready for that's what I do as a publicist, because most publicists just take the brand that's already ready and put it out there. I don't want to represent something that's not ready. So that's the biggest part of it. So that's how I started, because it was, why should I outsource something that I'm already doing?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, I think a lot of times you'll find that you have a skill set that then you can kind of add that on to your resume. And then the thing that I think for me, because my mentor, she stays on me. And she says to me all the time, well, why don't you separate that out? Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you say? And I'm just like, well, but when I'm doing my consultation, I will offer all of those things in the consultation. So I try to make sure that I customize everything to each individual person, as opposed to just offering so many a la carte services. I don't think it's anything wrong with offering a la carte services, and I could definitely do that. But I like to make a well-rounded approach when it comes to really looking at somebody's business and seeing what they need as far as the help, the clarity, and whatever their marketing strategy is going to be. But I need you to tell people, what is a day in the life of a publicist like? Because I do not think that they understand, and your day in your life is nowhere near like my day in my life, where I do the marketing part, and so I can schedule some things, I can look up some stuff, I can be creative, because I'm only working with that specific client at that time, or doing my stuff or something like that. And then of course teaching classes. But your day in your life is nowhere near like that as a publicist. So tell them, kind of give them some background so that they can understand that.
Well, sometimes my day doesn't end. So that's where that comes into play. I'm usually when I get up and I start working, I'm looking at the time. I'm basically looking at the time to see what time zone I'm going to be pitching in at that hour. Then I
Okay.
look at the trending news and how it's applicable to my clients at the same time. So I'm looking at what changed from day to day. What is I have finance clients. I have clients who are in travel. I have clients who are in diversity and inclusion and human resources. So I have to look at so many different trending topics to see where they're going to fall into play. And I'm planning for a couple months ahead as well. So my day, it starts with checking emails, responding, then pitching again, because sometimes there's a subject, a story that'll come up that's applicable to my client, or a new outlet, or a new someone, an editor is changing, or a new producer is changing in the guard somewhere. So I have to repitch and reintroduce myself. So my day consists of looking at the trending topics, then going over and looking at what my clients have going on, stalking their pages to find out if they have done something that they didn't tell me about. Then I have to go in and write another pitch to cover that, and then talk to them and get them together. Yes, I'm talking about you.
I will stay doing something though. I was like, oh, I did such and such. Let me send it to you. I know. That's why I was like, oh, it sounds like she's talking about me.
In the grand scheme, they consist of cheering my clients on, making sure that they know that I'm watching them and seeing what they're doing, looking at different strategic partnerships that can be garnered from the things that they're doing and that they want to do. Because each day, we're making strides on building something new and getting the viewer, getting it out there. And then from there, like, making sure I'm responsive to emails on time. I'm proofreading questions. I'm writing and responding to questions, because sometimes I'm able to embody their voice, and I can respond based on what they would say. So, I have to get that done and get that into my news cycle. And then from there, I'm planning for the different months that are coming. I'm actually looking at how can my client leverage certain things that are going on in May, certain things that are going on, so I can put them on the radar of these news outlets, these new media outlets, these podcasts. So I'm always searching and looking and seeing what's new out there to make sure my clients are utilizing the platforms that they want to be on and getting the reach that they need. And looking at what they're sharing, how they're sharing, the timing they're sharing, moderating any kind of comment that could be inflammatory, sometimes getting involved before they even see it. So that's pretty much of the life of a publicist that a lot of people don't see.
So listen, this is why you pay for your publicist. So this year, some of you may know, I'm bringing out Money Baraka. And this is why you spend the money on the publicist. Because let me tell you something, I don't want to do all of that. Like, I like to answer emails that they say, we want to hire you and this is how much we want to pay. I like to answer emails that say, are you available this day? We got a budget. Those are the emails I like to answer, right? So just taking on that for a bunch of different people every day, that sounds very stressful to me. Because I am not that. That's why I tell people, could I be a publicist if I chose to? I could if I chose to, but I don't want to do all of that. And that is the biggest thing, right? Oh, okay. Come on, Ina Pop. So she said she's looking to, she got a new outlet and she's looking for more people to highlight. Come on, girl. We need to be highlighted. Right. So when I'm saying that, it's a lot of work that people don't realize that goes into being a publicist. And I'm just like, do you want to do all of that? And do you want to keep being out there representing yourself? It is something that takes a lot of energy that people just don't realize. And that's why I do not want to be a publicist at this point in my life. But I also recognize that it is a lot of work. Okay. to
Mhm.
to get all of that media attention and to get those placements. And people don't realize that it's not the same thing as just the regular marketing. And I'm not saying like marketing is not, because I do the marketing side of things. I do the look at me,
Yeah.
look at me, look at me, look at me. But look at me is not necessarily the same thing as be seen. And that's what I needed people to understand. So the way you just dropped that and gave us all of those things, first of all, I need a sip. I need a sip.
It's a lot. Like, this is what I've been doing. So today it's been looking at, today is Wednesday, so it was mostly at client calls today, but I was also discovering new platforms and looking at new pitching platforms that will put me in front of journalists who are on the beat for my clients, because you
Mhm.
can't just, you have to look at what is going on. You have to stalk journalists. You have to stalk these news outlets because they put different, different producers, different newscasters on different subjects. So you can't
Yeah.
just you really can't just assume that you're pitching to the right person, because in an
Mhm.
overnight it could change. So knowing these things, looking at what they post, looking at what tickles their fancy, understanding when their personal blog comes out, because some of them do stuff outside of their regular
Of the
job.
job.
So
Yeah.
appealing to that and making it and seeing that them as a person, well, and it's building those relationships. So as a publicist, it's my job to build that relationship so that I can get my clients where they need to go. And not a lot of business owners have that time.
That's true. And it is. It's the same thing for me with relationships, but I look at it more in the people that are more localized and the people that are in my specific niche, right? So I know if I ask somebody and I'm like, can you come on? Just like actually on Monday, when I was like, okay, we did our live stream on Monday with Donnell Baldwin of Mr. Baldwin Style. I asked him on Sunday, could he do it? But why? Because if he was available, I knew he was going to be an excellent interview. But I also know that my relationship that I have with people will allow them to say yes to things if they are available. And of course, they know that this will be a good opportunity. So it puts it in a place where that relationship that you have is something that grows and that helps your clients to be seen. Now, one thing I can say is you, all right? So I don't know if you don't know about her. Listen, I'm going to say from October last year to now, you done been on everything. I was just like, okay, she said, I'm going to DIY. She said, listen, let me show you that I can be on everything, which means if I can be on everything, my clients can be on everything. So if people are going to DIY, just give them a little teensy snippet, because if they can't afford to pay a publicist, right? And they expect to invest a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s for a publicist, right? On a monthly basis. So if they want to DIY, what are just, it doesn't be a lot of things, but what can they do to kind of DIY their own publicity until they can afford to pay somebody?
Look at who is in your reach when it comes to podcasts and other Instagram lives. That's where you can start to get your media training, because you don't want to, essentially, I want to be on the news and get on there and you can't talk. You don't know how to
Yeah,
answer
no.
questions. So
I love going on the news, honey. I run that news station. I'd be like, and such, blase, blase. Let's give it to the
see, you
people.
got it because you had me.
I don't play games.
You already got it in the bag. But some people don't have the media training, so you start small. If one of your friends wants to go live with them so that you can get a feel on how to engage the audience and keep their attention. There's so many groups out here on Facebook that have live challenges. That's a way for you to essentially build a reel of you talking about your business, your brand, and what you do. So it gives you, if they have a free live challenge, get on it. Do the
That sounds
10
like,
minutes.
did that just sound like we need to have a live challenge? Hold
Hello?
up, girl. Don't, because listen. Listen. The mind starts to work. I love it.
It gives you the idea of how to introduce yourself, how to get your elevator pitch so that you are giving your information and knowing who you are, describing your product, service, and then you're speaking on a topic that's tailored. That's what, when I write a pitch, that's essentially what I'm doing. So start there and do those. Do as many as you can and get a nice portfolio, a nice reel going. Even if you did 10 of them, that's all you need to, you can actually start PRing yourself to those around you. Like, listen, I can come on and talk about this, about my business. You can actually pull out different topics and make it easier and do it less than 7 minutes. There you go. Most news segments are 3 minutes and below, or between 5 to 7 minutes.
2 minutes and change. Yeah.
So utilize those things to get to PR yourself up, and then use that clip and keep posting it.
No, I love that. That's a great idea. And I knew, that's why I said this is going to be a really great thing. Now, I have challenged my people specifically from January to now to go live every day, to go live once a week. But that was really more so of just a challenge that was a personal thing, just so that this way they could increase their level of comfortability in front of the camera and being able to sell and promote their products. So I've done it from that perspective, but I definitely think we could do a dope challenge, because I have all the ideas in the background. Okay, we're gonna put that together. Don't even worry about that. You just get income stream. Don't even worry about that. All right. So let me ask you another question. All right. If people are saying, look, I want to be seen, what are some top 3 apps that you think that they should use to be seen? And, it could be, a social media app. It could be something else that you do to make things look good. But what do you think people should use in order to be seen?
Instagram, Canva.
Okay.
And Repost.
Okay, the first one I didn't hear. I heard Canva and I heard Repost. What was the first one?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yes, because within Instagram, you could create your own channel with IGTV and turn it into your TV. And tell people, check out my channel on Instagram, and it translates over to Facebook. So now that Facebook owns Instagram, you're getting double the bang for your buck. Because when you posted your IGTV to Instagram, send it to Facebook at the same time and share it, to different people from your business page to your personal or to other people's personals. And then you have a following there. So you want to make sure that you are utilizing. Then Repost is a great way to capture trending posts, reposting them to your story so that you can, capitalize on that to bring more attention to yourself. Because if it aligns with you, repost it. If you don't want it on your timeline, repost it in the reels or repost it in your story, and keep the hashtags, because that'll drive people to come to your profile organically. Because you don't have to pay for the boost the ads if you build it organically, and people, the hashtags do the work for you.
No, I love that. And that to me makes perfectly good sense. And I keep telling people I love Instagram, but the thing and I'm just going to throw this out there in case anybody doesn't know. So I don't have it yet that I know of, but I'm going to check and see if it'll work. But Instagram is now going to do a couple of things, and it just depends on when they allowed it to happen on your account. So instead of just 2 people able to go live, they're going to have Instagram rooms, and Instagram rooms will allow you to have 4 people going live simultaneously. Now, why are they doing that? Because, honey, they are petty ass boots. Let me tell you. So once Clubhouse came out and had these rooms and everybody can get on, Instagram is like, oh, we feel jealous, right? And so, Mark Zuckerberg has to be in with everything. So they figured out a way, of course, to be able to allow more people to be able to come onto the platform. So soon, if you don't have it already, you'll be able to go live with 4 people as opposed to just 2 people. So that's going to happen. In addition to that, if you get your platform up and you get people paying attention and they're listening and they're watching your lives, you will also be able to monetize this platform where people will be able to send you payments. Now, I don't have that yet, but I mean, they're open it up. Now, if you're a super big influencer, then you have that ability, but it will enable you to be able to make money on this platform. But even if not, if you don't get that, you can, if you have your business page on Facebook, can go over there and you can charge for your live streams. So I just need you to understand that, baby girl, will be charging for these live streams because all I do is teach on a regular basis anyway. So when you look at the things that
they have room,
it's free. That's what I'm saying. They have rooms, and then you can go ahead and you can now, the same way that you would charge for a webinar, it's the same exact concept as just being on Facebook to teach something. So what I'm saying to you and to everybody is you do want to be seen, all right? And so I wanted to put it to you this way so that this way everybody would understand it. We want to be seen in 2021, but if I don't have to be seen and I can still make money, that's a great thing. But you got to be seen to make the money. So the things that we're talking about are you having to put your face out there and you being seen, but there are a lot of people that just get seen and don't get any money. So we want you to make money, which means be seen, but also get those coins in 2021. So find a way for you to monetize your platform and specifically your knowledge and to be able to sell your products and your services on these social media platforms, and you telling people what you do and them seeing it and understanding your level of expertise will help them to hire you and spend money with your business. So, I mean, that's really why we decided to do this. And I think being seen is part of it. But if you don't make the money to go along with being seen, okay, we saw you, but can you put some coins in the pocket? Can you put something in the bank account? That's really where the important thing is too.
I mean, because Facebook had rooms way before Clubhouse, right? Mm-hmm. So Facebook does have rooms that you can actually tailor to your audience. And the thing is, no one was utilizing it. I say, listen, tap into Facebook rooms, tap into Instagram once it goes up, but start with Facebook rooms first. If you don't have the function on Instagram, start there, and you can schedule those out, and people can join. You could play with the privacy and stuff like that, but you can monetize those too. So there's so many different ways that a lot of things are getting moved, like or glazed over, because a lot of times if there's no big influencer behind it. Sometimes some people don't even pay attention, Sorry. My light, I turned my light off. But yeah, a lot of people don't pay attention to it. But there's great spaces for you to create these spaces where you have a small audience and you talk to them. You want them to engage with you. You may not want to be the face of your company, but people want to see you, don't want to know the story behind it, because people have an emotional connection to their money. Before they spend their money, they want to make sure it's going to someone that they can trust. It could be 99 cents, it could be $999, because I've seen people go to war. Okay, that was me. I've gone to war over 10 cents. So
not 10 cents.
It's my 10 cents. I worked for that 10 cents. Okay. So yeah.
That is true. That is true. That is true. And I think when we look at, and I said this on a Clubhouse, actually my first Clubhouse that I did when I talked about being an influencer, I don't think that people realize the amount of power and the influence that they actually have within them, that if they would just let it out, that they would be able to see an increase in their bottom line. And so I said, getting in the beginning of this year, January just went by like nothing. February, she was like, hey, y'all. And then it was March. And I said, no, my goal for the beginning of the year anyway was more. But I said, no, we're really going to do way more in March, right? And it gets you to the point where you feel like, damn, am I doing too much? And then it's just like, no, you can't be doing too much, because if people are still joining, people are still paying attention, people are buying, new people are coming in. What if you didn't do that live stream? What if you weren't on that platform? What if you didn't have somewhere for people to see you, to be seen? Then it would be a whole lot of people that would never know about you, and they would overlook you and overlook your platform, and you could be the thing that they're looking for. So get out there.
And you don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be a grandiose thing. It could be you talking for 2 minutes about your brand, like introducing something new, or please subscribe to my mailing list. Like, people want to connect with something or someone because in the day and age now, it's so many people are hiding behind bots and things of that nature. So there's no personal connection, so now is the time for people to tap into something. Like I told people, compassionate marketing came about early last year with the pandemic, you never saw the people from the toilet paper on there pleading for people to understand this is, hey, we are with you right now. Yes, you are, because we can't find no toilet paper. But the company was doing, was being compassionate in their marketing and letting you know they're human out here in these plants trying to get these toilet papers to y'all when, everybody was buying them up and you couldn't find none. And, they were trying to make it feel better. Like, you've never seen True Green say, no matter what, even though you stuck in the house, we're going to make sure your lawn look good. You've never seen those companies humanize themselves until the compassion needed to be felt. And so this is where small businesses, no matter what, small businesses, solo entrepreneur, all of you have to humanize your business. I don't care if you sell them bundles and lashes. You know what I'm saying? To humanize your business, to make, to actually connect with whoever you want to talk to, because even though some markets are saturated to the most, you will find that the people that are talking about showing and using their own stuff get the most sales. So utilize that, show that, because that's like me selling bundles and lashes, and I don't wear not a nail bundle or a lash.
I wear lashes. I don't have any on now, and I keep a haircut. So
you know what I'm saying? You would. That's not my ministry. So therefore you can't go in. There's certain markets that people are selling stuff that there's no connection to it. You'll get out there. I could be trying. Don't get me to line with the lashes, because I have you going shut and looking crazy, and then we'll be all in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah.
So you have to humanize your connection to your business to monetize, to gain those sales. It's just. Oh, sorry,
No, you get passionate about it. And, when I look at certain businesses, this is my next question. What is too much? Now, I tell people all the time, when you think it's too much, it's probably just enough. And I was telling my husband, I said, you know what? And I'm gonna have to call this person out. I do love her to death, but I feel like she is wearing me out. And it's Niecy Nash, okay? Niecy Nash, I love some Niecy Nash, okay? I love a good old thick girl, right? And she's confident and all of that. But I feel like sometimes she puts out so much, and maybe it's more of a personal life because she's extra happy. And I feel like, for me, I do share a lot more of my personal life now than I probably ever shared before, but it's the change and the transition in my business that's happening. Some people only want to put out their business and they don't want you to know anything about their personal life. But I do feel like when you share little snippets of your personal life, it does help people to connect and to identify with you a little bit more. So what do you think is a little bit too much that maybe people are doing, a little bit overboard with the marketing? And you don't have to name anybody's name. I'm just saying Niecy does a whole lot.
A whole lot. I think with children, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, I don't post, I barely post my personal life. I'll never post my children because they don't know y'all. Like, my kids don't know y'all, so dad don't need for y'all to know where they go to school at and what colleges they got accepted to and what's going on in life, because it's none of y'all. That's no one's business. Because sometimes people will build a narrative around you that doesn't need to exist. So, there's some people who are using their children or arguing with their husband or their spouse. Like, it's to the point where it's just terrible. It's like, if you're not going to, they're using the negative to get the reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem. That is problematic. That's something that is just, I'm not going to name no names, but certain celebrities, if they're not showing they skeleton.
Yeah. And that's not my life. And I would never do that. I feel you.
Because at what point is something, at what point is it going to be sacred? What's sacred really to you? What's really, what are you going to protect about yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally, completely agree with that when we talk about protecting things. And so, I've always said things like, I'm never going to be in my bedroom, be laid up in the bed, and just sharing all of that. It makes a difference.
So that's my biggest take on, who's doing too much. People who are utilizing the negative and creating false issues for attention and making a whole branding around it. Like, oh, I'm going through this, but buy my product because everybody's on like that. Come on now. Go on somewhere with that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I mean, the thing is, people do understand that there are negative things that happen in life, but is everything negative? Is that the only thing that you have? And that's why, like, I'm surprised in a way, and maybe it's just me, that something like Basketball Wives is still on. Y'all are too old to keep going back and forth through this stuff. Like, when it first came out, okay, it was cute. And after like 1 or 2 seasons, I was like, I'm done with this. I can't keep watching Black women, brown women back and forth fighting with things. And that's the only thing that we have to offer. So I always look at what we can do to positively impact our community and to have our brands looked at in a positive light, because to me, that's really the only way to do it. Like, I don't want negativity out
there. Show where you're not even a wife, though.
Listen, I don't know. I'm a wife, so I don't know what they're doing. But
now where it's like this, I don't feel like it makes sense, because people are capitalizing on the negative, and they're making light of certain situations that should be like, I'm looking at Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? There's a certain villain that's on that show. Like, first of all, it's making light on different issues that are very, very prevalent, especially when it comes to Black women, and understanding we want to use our words. Like, just because someone is checking you does not mean they're attacking you. So that gives the perception that no one could, tell you, can give you criticism. So now Black women can't be taught
criticism and constructive criticism.
Right. So that is the biggest thing, I think, as a publicist. I'm so protective of my Black women, like clients who are Black women, or who are like, I'm very Black men as well, because I don't want certain connotations connected to my clients. And there have been inquiries like, do you have someone that fits this? No, I don't, because
who all over there? Yeah, no,
because you want to capitalize on that, and I refuse to. Even though it could be so lucrative, I refuse to have that narrative attached to my clients, because it's not, no amount of money is worth my client having to defend themselves on a constant basis because of something that was, taken and blown out of proportion.
But it's also an issue of quality. And I think it's interesting to me. And I mean, I guess it happens. I just don't ever have to get approached by that, where, like, I just had a young lady approach me yesterday to ask me, did I know somebody that was in business that did XYZ? And I was just like, well, not at this time. I know somebody did it last year, but, she's like, well, if you know anybody, just go ahead and send them to me. And I'm like, okay. But people are specifically looking for people who are doing negative things. Is very interesting to me. And I'm just like, I don't have time for that, because we are here to uplift people. We are here to tell, like, the gospel about good things that are happening. And I think that we don't have enough platforms that specifically highlight our small businesses. And you may be the next big business. So who's the person that gives you that break? Who's the person that interviews you? And I always think, like, I just watched the Biggie documentary, the new one that just came out, right? And
it was good.
When you watch that, I always think, like, somebody was recording a everyday life thing, not even knowing what was going to happen. And he was just doing his thing, just being a regular person, just going to the shows, they getting dressed, cracking jokes and everything, just being on the corner, chilling. And it's like, I think that if more small businesses realize that there's power in that journey that you have now, where you're not to the big time, that you would probably chronicle things different. And that's how I look at this. I look at this social media and these platforms that we have as a way to chronicle our journey, to say, look where we've come. And, then when you get on, the CNNs and the BETs and, all these other money, networks and entrepreneur this and all of that, when you get on those other things, then you're like, I appreciate that 10 minutes, that 30 minutes that I spent, on that live stream in my living room, and then now you get to be this big, gigantic celebrity. And you know what? It may not even happen like that for everybody, but you still have the ability to get there. But if you don't say anything and you're not seen, how's anybody going to know about you? So, yeah, go ahead.
That's what I tell people. Document those. It may be so small. You may feel it's so small and nobody wants to celebrate those milestones. Document those milestones. I got my placard on the wall from, when I got my notary certificate, when I got sworn in, when I got all of these things, document and make that scrapbook of things using Facebook or using social media, because keep in mind, if you forget, social media reminds you, like last year, remember you was walking that red carpet, or remember you were excited about something, like you remember this, remember that. So that's where a lot of people don't look at, they don't understand that part. Use social media for what it's there for. When those memories come up, it's going to be something beautiful.
It is. And Google sends me stuff. Like, let me just say something. I don't know about anybody else's life, but Google sent me some stuff from 7 years ago that I didn't realize was 7 years ago today. And I'm looking at it. And I looked at all of the events that I have produced. And I have produced some major, big, and I'm just like, you dope. Like, I mean, you have to say it to yourself sometimes, because you and I'm not saying that even I undervalue myself, because I love me, okay, but sometimes you just don't really realize all the things that you've done until Google sends up a memory or Facebook sends up a memory. And the fact that you documented it means that it is there for somebody else to see. So if I really felt like doing a throwback Thursday, I could do a throwback Monday through Friday, throwback Saturday, Sunday, every week, because it's just that much content that's out there and that many things that have been done. And I always tell people, celebrate all of those little successes. Everything's not going to be humongous and just, out of proportion, but there are little successes that we should be able to celebrate in our businesses. And so don't get disheartened if everything's not as big as you want it, because that doesn't mean that it's not going to come, but you have to be seen. And that is why this live stream this evening was so important for me to tell people, because I'm like, so many people do not want to be out there. They do not want people to see them. They have such stage fright. And it's just like, well, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, you can only see this little piece of you. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know my pajama pants ain't no big deal. Like, I'm not fully dressed, but I look good out right here.
Listen, but I mean, when you think about it, though, it's just kind of like, how bad could you be talking about yourself and your business? You can't be that bad. So talk about yourself and your business a lot more, and just give yourself permission to be great. Like, that's really what you do. Give yourself permission to be great, and then you can get yourself to a platform where you can be great too. So, woo, girl, we done said so much tonight.
I'm excited because it's like, I gave tidbits that a lot of people miss. And for me, it's like, let me share the information, because as a publicist, a lot of people kind of downplay what we do. Well, because I had somebody who was like, well, I could book myself. Have at it. Be blessed. I'm not going to argue with you because there are certain things that I bring to the table that I can tell you that you don't know. And then when you come back and say, well, I want to be on this, I can't help you because remember, you could do it yourself. So it's like I can only speak on people, I can keep talking and keep sharing the knowledge to show that this is how I legitimize my business. Because I come on and I'm talking about and I'm giving you, like you said, give it to the people. I'm giving the people exactly what's needed for them to understand how it's really done. And other things that you may not think about in your business that can help your business. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I tell people. If you don't speak about it, you're not legitimizing your business. You're not showcasing that you do know your stuff. Because if you it's easy to post all day. I made 6 figures. Okay, prove it. Let's have a conversation. And within that first 2 minutes, you can tell if somebody got 6 figures or not. They know how to make it.
Listen, let me give you an example of that. And it's not even a figure thing, but it's a knowledge-based thing. So Saturday, I did an interview for a station that's up in Philly. It's not going to come out until April, right? So if you saw my cute little post where I said I was fun in this hobby, just go check that little reel out. She just sitting there, pose, honey, pose and perch. All right, that's a shameless plug for you to go to my page, right? Yeah. So, one of the questions that they asked me before I went live was, do you have any issue if we just ask you a question that's not one of the questions that we sent to you? And I'm just like, no, why? She said, because we interviewed this guy who was a financial expert, okay, a financial expert. And we asked him a question that wasn't one of the 5 or 7 questions that we sent to him. And he got stuck and he had a problem being able to answer that question. And I'm just like, if you're asking me about something that I do, something that I'm knowledgeable about, it's no reason that I shouldn't be able to spit off an answer to you really quickly because I know my stuff, right? And so I'm just like, no, that would never be a problem with me. I'm like, I'd rather not even know the questions and just answer stuff off the cuff. But some people need to have those questions in advance. And so when we do these types of interviews, I always send people, a general list of questions, and then we may go and meander and be somewhere totally different. But if you know what you're talking about, you should not have a problem being able to answer a question. And I'm just like, that is very interesting to me for a person who claims that they're an expert to not be able to answer a question that is specifically about what they do. Are you really an expert? And being able to answer those things off the cuff is an important thing. I taught a class tonight. It was a young lady that asked me a question about, she said she did some oral care and that was the business she was doing and she was going to do it out of her house. And I told her, I said, well, listen, I am not well versed in oral care. However, if your business is XYZ, then you're probably going to have to go to the state board to get them to come in to approve it. And you're also going to have. So I ran down the things that she should more than likely have because of the type of business that she was doing. But I didn't need to know all the details about that specific business to be able to answer her question. And she was like, okay, great, no problem. That was great. That answered my question. And I'm just like, there are certain things in certain businesses. If that's your niche, you know what you need to do in order to get it. I may not know everything for that niche, but I should know enough to be able to point you in the right direction and to be able to answer your question. So please, if people are saying that they're experts, but they can't answer questions,
what you expert in not knowing?
look closely and just take inventory and recognize this person's not an expert on what they say. And I don't even like the word expert. I think that if we live long enough, we can be an expert on anything, right? But it just seems like it puts a lot of pressure on a person when you say that they're a specific expert at this because things change so rapidly. Even this, I'm great at social media, but saying, oh, okay, well, she's got to update her Instagram tonight, right?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know why it's not working. I see what I'm doing over here. And then it told me that you needed to update the Instagram. But, there are certain things that you just have to do that are trial and error. But if you are who you say you are, you should be able to rattle that stuff off to me, honey. You easy.
And this is what people, when I laugh because somebody's like, oh, do I need to send you the question before? No, I'm good.
So,
I'm
me
fully
too.
confident in what I'm about to tell y'all because you have to, if you are not confident and you don't know your stuff, then that's why you want 1,000,001 questions so that you can prepare. You know, so for me, there's no, we're not prepping, and I'm not memorizing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it does, then it comes off as inauthentic. It comes off as you rehearsed it, and it doesn't sound like it just flows from you. And I think that no matter what, even if a person is nervous, you can tell that they know their stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say to anybody who says, even though I listened to this was really great, I watched the replay or I just jumped in, what would you say to them if they say, well, look, I'm not ready to live stream yet. I'm not ready to be interviewed. What would you say? Because I have my answer, but what would you say?
Make a video, record yourself talking to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Record yourself talking, you speak, record yourself speaking about it, but you have to come from a place of what would you want a business to say to you?
Mm-hmm.
You have to put yourself outside of yourself to understand exactly what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing you have to definitely do. If you don't feel comfortable going live, make a video.
Mm-hmm.
You could schedule it there. It may seem like you went live. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different ways to do it. So the biggest thing is get comfortable recording yourself and listening to yourself. I think my voice is annoying. Okay.
I never realized how high my voice was until I started listening to myself. And I never used to like to go back and listen to me. But what I recognize, and so that's powerful right there. But what I recognize in listening to myself is where I need to slow down, because that was a big issue. And it still is a big issue depending on how fast I feel like I'm talking or how excited that I am. I also recognized where I needed to pause to make impact. Because if you are talking too fast, sometimes it can go way over people's head. And I also realized that getting your thoughts together. So, and people say this to me all the time. I don't do a whole lot of ums and ahs. I don't. Okay. I just don't. Because I recognize that if I take the time to think about what I want to say, there are other words that you can use to kind of stretch things out. But I'm thinking about it so that this way it makes it easier to just flow when it comes to specifically teaching people. So I had a lady on the thing tonight that said, oh my God, I listened to a webinar and they were so monotonous. And this was the best webinar I've been on because you're so extra. And I told them, I said, listen, you are just getting 70% of the juice right now. I'm not even at 100% juicy capacity the way I'm doing this webinar this evening. I said, so come back next week. I'm sure I'm going to have a little more juice for you next week. And I think that it's the energy that you bring to people, but you can get comfortable with it. That's what I would say to people. So whether you record it or whether you just go live, the more that you do it, it's practice, right? And you will get better at it. And I have plenty of clients who said to me, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do such and such. And then when they work with me for a little while, they're like, yeah, I want to get on the news. So what can we do to do such and such? Or, oh yeah, I'm ready for such and such now. And I'm just like, if you're not ready, then don't say you're ready. But when you practice enough, it will become easier for you. So what we do over here at Lady Business is when we do our 1 day kind of like affirmative action sessions is really what I like to call them. And we spend 3 to 4 hours working with the client, putting their marketing plan together. And this is an in-person thing, recording their videos so that this way they'll have videos to be able to translate to the public to do exactly what you said. It gives them so much confidence, and they may be nervous at first, but by the time that they get their photos taken, they do their videos, we do the marketing plan, and they know how things are going to be aligned. Those 1 day sessions empower a person so much. And I'm all about giving people confidence. And then they're like, I want to do another one. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, you need to put this content out that we just recorded, so stop it. But come back in the next quarter, or in 2 months or something, so that this way it prepares you to be able to have enough content to go out. And it also is going to make you have that confidence, like I said, to be able to do it on your own, because you don't have to have a person there every day to do something with you, because that motivation is going to run out. But you need to be able to be self-sufficient enough to do it on your own and to create some masterful stuff.
And that's where a lot of people are actually, you forget that you have to be able to invest the sweat equity in your business for it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And doing the marketing, doing the work that it takes to build your portfolio, build up who you are, to connect with certain things. Because I would not, you just have to do the work. You
Mm-hmm.
have to show your personality. I never thought I had to show my personality, because I just showed up, did my job, and went on about my business.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, we have the time now, and I will say that, like, I love the fact that you give it to, when I see you curate a photo shoot, I know it's going to be amazing, because that's your thing. Like, I love the bright colors. I love the story that's behind the photos. So I already know what's coming. So you got to be known for something. And that's one of the things that I ain't even going front. Wait till the world open up some more. I'm coming down there, because I know that you can bring out this.
You better run down May 1st. Stop playing. You better run on down here May 1st, because I'm telling you, it's going to go down. It's going to go down.
Don't do that.
May 1st, it's going down. But you know what? What I see is exactly that. And that's what I said. Once I realized really what my gift was, and, not getting into a long story, but I had a breakup with a friend, and she was just like, I don't need such and such, and you just go give confidence to da-da-da and blase, blase, and you just swear. And I'm just like, I'm not swearing that I'm so much of something, but I'm telling you that I know what I'm good at. And if I know what I'm good at, then why would I not do that thing? And why would I not monetize it? It just doesn't make sense to me. And so it's like a person that can't see how great they are or the potential that they have will always down somebody that they feel like is doing too much, right? Or will always demean will demean the efforts of people that are just trying to be better. And I think that when people are trying to be better, you might need that little push, that little boost. You might need that little, high five, that little, hey, girl. And I love to compliment people, right? Okay, so Elite said, what's happening May 1st? So May 1st is the Give It to the People experience. We did our first one of the year in January. Amazing, right? And we're about to drop some pictures coming up. And then the next Give It to the People experience, we have a tropical theme that we're going with. So
Elise, send her a couple of the palettes.
Send her some palettes. Oh, the palettes. Oh, it's about to be beautiful. Okay.
Elise, her makeup line. Now, I don't wear makeup like that. Her makeup line.
Now, I have not tried Elise's makeup, but I know that she has a really great brand, because she sent me some stuff years ago when we did some things. So I'm just proud of, the growth that she has with her stuff. But I think that what's missing, how about we say that? What's missing in being seen, in my opinion, is what I do, right? So what's missing in being seen is you having a group of women that are around that you don't necessarily even know, but that when you walk in the room, you feel like you got a friend. And when you leave, you're following each other and you're having conversations, and then you're doing business together. What's missing is, girl, you look good. Okay, what's up? Put them shoes on. Okay, shake it, do it, right? When I'm telling you, we have the most fun, right? And I tell people, my target demographic is women that are going to be 40 years up and 40 years old and up. They could be like 35 and stuff, but typically they're 40 and up, right? Mm-hmm. And they want to come out. They want to have a good time. They want to know that they're going to get the value for their money. They do like to eat. They might need a little juicy beverage. So for this next one, we're going to have a mixology class. I'm just telling y'all everything, okay? It's coming out. But for the next one, we're going to have a mixology class. Look at Balloon Blueprint just showed up. Balloon Blueprint is one of our collaborators. So she's going to do this elaborate balloon thing that we're going to have there, which we didn't have at the first one. We always have great music, gourmet food that's out there. And we treat you right. And so, with this one, we're going to have a lot of different things where people will be able to do some of their own videos. So the things that we're talking about today will happen at the next Give It to the People experience. So that's why I'm saying, if you need to be seen and you need that boost, you need to come over here, because we don't play those games. We want you to be seen. And, I did this with one of my, I did a session with a business coach, right? because she was in a area of business than me. And she was just like, well, what really makes you, do what you want to do? And I'm like, well, I wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to work for anybody else. And I'm telling her this, and she's like, that's not why you do it. And, well, why do you do such and such? And she just, do like she did me, like I do people. She broke me down to the white meat, right? And it finally came out when I was just like, I like to be seen, but I like my clients to be seen too. And it gives you a boost when you see your people out there successful. So every time, Ms. Gore, that you post something and you like, I'm speaking at something else, I'm like, speak, girl, do it, okay? Because that's like, well, I need to speak somewhere else, right? It gives you an energy when you see other people doing good.
And for me, it's genuine. I'm always happy for everybody. And that's the craziest part. I may not agree with who they speaking with, but if they happy, I'm happy. I don't care if it was Mary and all her little lambs. Listen, okay? I'ma cheer you on. You happy? Well, we gonna smile and we gonna talk to Mary and all the lambs, because you have to celebrate with people, even if that's being genuinely happy for people is something that just
it's amazing.
I just love it. I love seeing people smile and be happy in themselves. So that's the biggest thing. Cheer people on. And I like that, because I need a photo shoot like that, because I'll be turning to Tyra, Naomi, whoever Tyson Beckford at the daggone thing, because I'm hyped up that good. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's y'all. Yes. May 1st, let me put that on the calendar.
But listen, the thing is, I would say, if I didn't feel like it was worth people traveling for, I would say, nah, don't come down here and do that, right? Okay, Hair Favor, you up in here. Now, look, Hair Favor can tell you, okay, this was her first one that she came to. And Hair Favor is who keeps this hair laid. Hold up, let me get y'all all up in this, right? Hair Favor is who keeps this hair laid.
Got us swimming.
Right? And this was her first event that she came to in January. And she was just like, I had such a great time. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to guarantee you something. You are going to come and you're coming by yourself, but you will leave with some genuine relationships and you will have a good time. And the women that are there will be the type of women that will cheer you on and that you will feel comfortable with. You will never come to one of my events and somebody's nasty to you. That will never happen, okay? Because they got to go, all right? But I just don't attract that type of energy. And so, in us having this discussion tonight, I am very much empowered because I really want everybody to understand that being seen in 2021 also means that we are going to be more abundant. And so we need to make these monetization streams for us. And we need to make sure that we are seen in the light that we want to be seen in, because that makes a huge difference as well.
Mm-hmm. Because my biggest thing, because I need to get out of wearing these t-shirts all the time, because I really do got some clothes. I do got clothes. So I really need to get out there, because I have some bright colors and stuff. I just feel like I know we about to do it.
That's it. But you know what? You'll never go back. I mean, not to say don't go back to your t-shirts, okay? But let me tell you something that I started doing. So when we started this whole thing this year and we talked about mental wealth, right? And I said, okay, we're going to start this membership and really help people be mentally wealthy, right? Mm-hmm. I said, COVID has, I couldn't even, I put on a pair of my shoes and I was like, I can't even wear these. Where are they going? Right? Because they weren't comfortable like they used to be. So then I started buying sneakers, and then I started buying stuff to match the sneakers, because my husband, he's a little baby sneakerhead over there. So he's the one buying me sneakers, because I just like, I like this, and he gets it. Right? So I'm like, but I can be comfortable in that, and I can still give my vibe and my energy in sneakers. So, okay, we may switch over to sneakers, because maybe those high heels, where are we going? You know what I'm saying? But this is what I learned. When I get up in the morning and I do my little face, and even if I don't do my little face, when my hair's done, I feel better. And so that whole thing of looking better and feeling better, it is sometimes in just the way that you look to yourself. You don't have to do it for anybody else. Yesterday, I got up, put my makeup on. My husband's like, where are you going? I was like, the living room. I mean, I'm going to the living room. All right. And I didn't have anything that I needed to be seen, but I felt better because that's what I wanted to do for me. So the question that somebody had was, where is the event going to be? So it's in Greensboro, North Carolina. We don't give out the actual address until people pay, but it's in Greensboro, North Carolina. And you can go to the link in my bio and you can click on that, give it to the people experience. We'll have all of that stuff up so that this way people can go ahead, they can register and they can come on out. And it should be in there already. But I think that sometimes we talk ourselves out of being seen, because it's not the easiest thing if you keep sitting at home and you're doing the work from home to even want to get dressed, because there's not a need for it. But then I said, I'm going to put on clothes. Oh my God, I'm going to put on pants. You know, I mean,
Listen.
it's like, it's such a pants. Do we really need those? Nobody's looking down there, right? But you have to get yourself together. And what I can say, so I'm going to give you guys, because we're going to wrap this up. I know we're already overdone. If I was going to tell anybody anything that I think they should do to be seen, I would say to create more videos, specifically create these reels, because I can see a drastic increase in me creating reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
And to take into consideration that if there's a platform that you have not used before, that may be where you're missing some clients from. So maybe pull that platform into your business, but do something that might challenge you. And my last thing would be repurpose some of your content that you have that's out there. So we have all kinds of different workshops and things. So go to the website, ladybusiness.com, go to /events. I have free events galore. Okay. I teach like, I don't know, 1 million times a week. And then we have some things that are more the boot camps where they're paid. I don't put out anything that's not quality. I just don't do that. I don't know where they do that at. Look over here. So, you know, I tell people, come to all the free things that you can possibly come to, because they're free. So do that. And then just know we're constantly adding some more events on. So please get what you need for free. But if you feel like you really want to be seen and you have the funds, I'm going to tell you, that lady that's down there, okay, Miss Gore, she will get you seen. So if you need a publicist, don't play games. Go on ahead and contact her and get yourself seen, because I've been in more publications in the last 6 months, a year. I don't even know how long we've been doing this than ever. Okay, more, and stuff I didn't even know about. Like she said, I have been in, I don't even know, Medium, all kinds of articles, things on the live streams, people Zoom. I've been on more things in the last year. And I don't think that it's that I couldn't have necessarily done it for myself, but not having to do it, it was a blessing for her to just send a message and say, can you do this on such and such a day? And I'm like, girl, do the calendar. So once she got the calendar, I didn't even have to do that. She just booking stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it is a wonderful
it's a good
lesson.
feeling that you
It's
just
so
wake up. It makes me happy because it's like, you know, you have this on your itinerary for this week, and it makes me feel good because you have content and your reach. Like it's amazing to me, because it's like I love seeing it, because it's like that's a whole different audience that, you know,
Yeah.
I know needed to see you. So that's how I like introducing, like.
Yeah, you know, and I'm telling you, I live for it. But I'm telling you, as a person who's an extrovert who loves to be seen anyway, when you send me something, you like, girl, can you fill this out? Get this back to me, and then we're gonna do such and such. Can you do this on this day? Yes, like that's always. And if I can't, I'm just like, okay, well, what about this day? But that doesn't really happen that much because you look at the schedule. But it's just like the exposure that is genuine that it brings to you. And let me throw this in too. Once you get it, like you said in the beginning, because some people weren't in the beginning, you have to have things set up. So if you know people are going to be coming to your site, there needs to be something to sell. There needs to be something for them to subscribe to. There needs to be something that's going on. It can't just be, look at me, right? And that's the difference between look at me and being seen. And that's what I want to leave with you guys tonight, okay? Now, Chandra, do you have any ending words, any last parting things you want to say to the people?
Take the course about updating your social media and creating graphics with Cheesa, because when you are being looked at, people are looking at your social media. So please take advantage of the free classes so that you are knowing and your stuff is updated, because we need to make sure your slip not showing. So go ahead and take the class and get it together. Yes. Just saying.
Yes, and I got plenty, like I said, plenty of free things. So check the page, go into the link in the bio, go to the website, ladybusiness.com, LADYBIZNESS.com, and then you can find things. So tell them where they can find you. If you're watching now, you can clearly see her name. You can go ahead and follow, but just let them know where they can find you.
You can go to chandragoreconsulting.com. Please don't DM me. Go to my website. There's a contact form. That's how I protect my peace, because she's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. You would never know that.
But no. And that's why I'm just like, what? Yeah. But you're one of those people that when you like people, you get that and you give it. And when you're doing your interviews, how would anybody know? How would they know? How would they know? They wouldn't know, right? But anybody else, let me just say this too. I am setting up interviews for Give It to the People Live, just like we're doing now, with I do like to do with people that I already know. It makes it easier. But if you have a business that you want to suggest that you think should be interviewed, send it to me. Just go ahead and send a DM and I'll go ahead and look at it. And if I like it, then I'll go ahead and send them an invite, and then they can go ahead and they can book their time, and then we'll, do it, because we're going to be doing this. And this is how I decided to do more. If you booked, I got to do the work, right? Like you said. So if I just let people just go ahead and book their times out, and I'm like, I got somebody every week until this time, it's going to keep me on target, because I am a little ADD. So I'll very easily go on to another project and be like, oh, okay, we're not doing that now. So it helps me to stay focused also by also helping other people. All right.
It keeps me on my toes.
It does. It does, right? All right. So everybody, thank you so much for coming out this evening. Thank you for listening. What?
The magazine.
Oh, girl, thank you. This is what I'm telling you, right? So the magazine is the new edition. It was supposed to come out on Tuesday. Technical difficulties. That's all I'm going to say. So it's going to come out on Monday on International Women's Day. All right. We have a lot of different great writers, and she is one of them, where you will see some great articles that'll be in there and give you all different kinds of perspectives, because the first time we didn't include anybody else. It was just me and my husband. So it's definitely going to be me and my husband still. We have great playlists. All of the ladies that were in the first Give It to the People, you will see them in there in their beautiful glory, because everybody was gorgeous. Okay. Let me just tell you that. All right. Makeup done, grams of glam, shots from still shot photography. So it's going to be really, really awesome. That's going to come out next week on International Women's Day. So expect that. And outside of that, listen, thank you for watching again. And make sure that you always show up at your house and continue to give it to the people. Good night, guys.
Night, y'all.
Thank you so much for listening to Give It to the People Radio. Make sure that you follow us online at ladybusiness.com, LADYBIZNESS. We look forward to helping you grow, sustain, and maintain your business.